Jam wrestling show here on the Extreme Improv Xstreamed YouTube channel, as well as the Slam Jam wrestling show YouTube channel as well. Just search Slam Jam wrestling and it'll come up on all of the social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X for Xstreamed, and all that good stuff. Now we're going to be discussing all kinds of things that's happening in the wacky world of professional wrestling. And we have an expert panel, and we may even get a run-in a minute or two. But for now, say hello to the people. Dave.
Hello, people. How are you doing? It's Dave here in Southend-on-Sea in Essex. And, yes, it's one of those things. I don't know if you wanted to do a fact. Hey, that's it.
Yes, if you have a random fact, I should have said. If you have a random wrestling fact, do enlighten us.
Well, no, my random fact, and I don't know if anyone's aware of this, is that apparently Jinder Mahal hasn't had a singles victory in the last 364 days, and it's a very little-known fact.
Wow, where did you hear such a fact?
Someone called Tony Khan on Twitter.
Never heard of him.
I was going to say, it sounds familiar, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's getting a title shot.
Sounds like a mark.
Jam should not be happening, should it? Obviously.
No, absolutely. Now, say hello to the people, and if you have some random facts as well, especially of that nature, because that was good. KD, say hello to the people.
What up, people? I am KD, comedic babyface, everybody's favourite. Random fact, I had Jimmy Havoc perform for me at one of my comedy shows, and you didn't use the name Jimmy Havoc, and I didn't realise till about halfway through the night, and yes, it was after he got fired from AEW.
Oh, well, there you go.
I can go.
Wow. Incognito. Yeah. Wow, how about that?
Incognito.
Yeah.
His name was something like Jimmy Parsons or something. I can't even remember. Jimmy something.
Jimmy Havoc.
He was going by.
Well, there you go.
yeah, that was it.
Wow, okay. Well, that reminds me, later on the show, we've got a guy called Chris Jericho or something like that. He sounds like a swell guy, but we'll find out. Now, anyway, Gav, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. How you guys doing?
Good.
Well, to you three, because I can't hear anyone else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a wrestling fact for us, Gav?
A wrestling fact? Probably just what's been released recently. I don't know if you guys touched on it already. And that was just about Jericho getting knocked out on his own cruise.
Oh, we haven't touched on that today, but I literally read about that this morning. Was that MVP?
That's MVP, yeah.
Now,
all the stories are coming out now, man.
Does anyone know what the story is there? Because I think I heard something months ago or a year ago where they'd like had words or had an argument at an airport or something.
Yeah, I think they had a few issues beforehand, and it's some of it may be to do with Jericho's wife and a particular date in January. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll leave it
He
there.
said a date in January. He was saying MVP didn't have a date with Jericho's wife. Is what
No.
Yeah, MVP had a date with Jericho's wife in January. Yeah.
Had it, and said, "Oh, January 6th doesn't work for me, MVP. Sorry."
Wow. How about that? And actually, like on the subject of Jericho, I shared it on our group chat. The fact that he had like a podcast come out where he was like, "Sky Blue is red hot." I was like maybe he'd already recorded that, but like, come on, that's just gonna flame the fires, surely.
He's never going to acknowledge it, is he? He's never ever going. The fact that they played Judas on repeat during the second Dynamite.
Hey, look, playing the music throughout worked for New Jack, so you know it can work for Jericho. It just goes to show he is a gangster. So what can I say?
New Jericho.
That's the first thing I think when I look at Jericho. I think gangster, to be fair.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
He's had a fight with a lot of people, to be fair.
I didn't catch either one of whoever spoke that.
I said I think of a similar word that sounds like gangster, but it's like different.
Start with a W, right?
All right. I was quite slow on the uptake there. Okay, so guys, there has been some stuff happening within the world of wrestling. As we mentioned, I think we should start off about not hindering the gindering. I kind of messed that up with my pronunciation. Right, so don't hinder the jinder. Jinder Mahal is going to be the next world champion as of Monday Night Raw. Has to happen.
Yeah. Has to. I think this is a Mankind moment, isn't it?
Well,
It's the most up years, yeah.
it's the most over he's been in like ever. I think isn't
It
it?
really is though now,
Last
yeah.
2
Especially with
weeks.
the hook comment as well. I think a lot of people really like
And who's the ultimate pusher? Who made him a superstar?
Yeah,
Our man TK.
yeah, absolutely.
To be fair, he's done a better job pushing Jinder Mahal than he has half his own roster.
He did a better job pushing Jinder than he did pushing Hook. Because,
Yeah.
you know, people would have just accepted, like, oh yeah, so, like, they're doing this with Hook or whatever. But because he's tried to, like, elevate Hook over Jinder, people are like, what did Jinder do wrong? Why did he deserve this? But, no, look,
I wish Jinder hadn't deleted his tweet though. That was brilliant. He went,
That was
"Who's
pretty
the
good.
funniest Hook?" And then at the end doing the thing of, "What's Monday Night Raw live on the USA Network?"
yeah.
It's smart though, because he gets himself out of trouble that little bit though, but he also knows everyone would have seen it, they would have screenshotted it, you know, it's still there and it. We all know.
Look, but it's an interesting dynamic though, because even though he is a former world champion, you have to believe that Jinder Mahal, especially over until this week, Jinder Mahal must have always been expecting to get future endeavoured, even having been a former world champion. And so, is he like, you know, would Tony Khan take him now? And also for Tony Khan, was that him just saying, "Look, I'm never going to hire you, Jinder"?
That's what I took it
It
as.
is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, in fact, maybe this means that he now would hire Jinder.
You never know.
Yeah.
I don't
Get
know.
himself
Yeah,
over.
never know.
Yeah.
I can see Jinder doing the Matt Cardona route.
Could do. You know, he certainly could do. Although very few people seem to... Like, I saw an interview or something with Matt Cardona recently where he was saying that, like, hardly anyone puts in, like, the effort that he does and like, you know, just does everything, they can, and they, like, waste opportunities. And I do see it. Like, when you see all of the people that were released at the same time as him, he's the only one that is really in your face on social media getting headlines and stuff.
It's true.
Yeah. When did he get released?
Well, at
How
the
long
beginning of
ago
the
was that?
pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, around about that time, yeah.
So I think 2000. I don't think it was even
Yeah,
2001. I think it was 2000. 2000? 2020? Right, yeah, in the year 2000 when he was...
It's been going a while, but it's not been going that
Like
long.
5.
Yeah, when he was 14 years old. Yeah, 2000, wow. Takes me
He got
back.
released before he even got hired.
Yeah.
Imagine what the discussions in that house must be like though between him and Chelsea Green about wrestling and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff they've done between them as well now over this past few years, like Chelsea Green getting into WWE as well. Kind of amazing how it's changed, how that's flipped completely. Did you see the story about him with the tag team title, the women's tag title?
Was that which one? I think so, but go ahead.
Just where he, he didn't have to go and he appeared on the indie show just the night after she won it or something. He bought his own replica one, and then everybody assumed it was the actual title belt. I assumed it too,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
I guess you've got
That
that
was
same
great.
dynamic with Nick Aldis and what's that name?
Mickey?
James.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, like, it's amazingly, I'd love to know the story of why he's been hired now just to be an authority figure, but hadn't been hired.
My conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
You know, UK Gladiators are coming back.
Yeah.
They just didn't want him on there.
Oh, right, yeah. So, that had
There
to
you
be a
go.
thing.
That fits.
I'm sure he was really considering that.
Yeah.
It's on the BBC now. We've got everything.
It's got the same theme
Oh, Bradley
tune, though.
Walsh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly. But unless they've got the classic referee, like the Scottish guy,
yeah.
then I'm not interested.
I think he's probably playing like an iron lung right now.
I don't know if we're doing points and things like that. Bonus point for anyone who can tell me what other wrestler was also on that Gladiators series with Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis. So he was Oblivion, right?
Yeah.
There was
Yeah, I
another
don't know.
wrestler.
I think it was.
There was another wrestler who's done very well for himself and
Not
is
Wolf,
known.
is it?
Was known.
I
Okay.
didn't even know Nick Aldis was legit. I thought it was a joke about Nick Aldis being a gladiator.
No, he started
No,
off as a
he started
gladiator
as a
before he was in TNA.
Yeah,
The
and he
American
brought back
Gladiators.
No, okay, let's bring it.
Brutus Magnus.
I'm
I
not.
was going to say that's the first time I saw him. And
Yeah.
me and my brother was like, this
Do you
guy.
know who the other guy was?
No, go on.
It was I've forgotten his name now. I didn't know ago. It's the guy that was like the new Nexus Batista replica guy. Mason Ryan.
Mason Ryan.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Mason Ryan was like a big guy. He was like Colossus or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's a big dude.
Okay, so open image in new tab, and let's get
Magnus
this.
was Brutus Magnus when he first debuted, wasn't he? And he was doing the whole gladiator thing with and coming on like talking like Russell Crowe, going, "I am Brutus Magnus, son of Bob."
So there you can see that was him on
There he
Gladiators.
is.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was that like the American Gladiators?
No, it was like the UK one that they did on like Sky TV, and they did it for like
Oh.
2 seasons, and then they scrapped it.
And Wolf was
Oh,
like the
I missed-
gladiator's coach, wasn't he, or something like that? He was still on there.
Ah. I used to legitimately, I got so many memories of being a kid. We used to go to the Gladiator tapings all the time, like
Wow.
they were free when I was younger. I had no idea this remake series was even done. I knew about the new one coming, but I didn't know about this one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, it was on
It was
Sky,
on
so like no one watched it. So,
Yeah, true.
so there you go.
I know what I'm binging this weekend.
Well, yeah, exactly. Okay, so what the hell were we talking about? How did we end up on Gladiators? Nick Oldest, Mickey James.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking
Okay.
about couples in different companies, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's loads of them now. Like that must be. How does that work with like leaks and stuff? Because how can like Rhea Ripley just turn up backstage at Dynamite to be there with Buddy Murphy or Buddy Matthews or whatever? It's like you can't really do that. You know.
Didn't they ban them now? Haven't they like
Wow.
stopped WWE people going to AEW? Was that not a thing?
What? So if Charlotte Flair turned up to be there with Rick, well, can't be there with Andrade anymore, right? But if Charlotte turned up, they'd say like, "Sorry, you can't come backstage."
I might be wrong. Like,
It's going for Andrade, isn't it? Because he's obviously just left and he's going back to WWE to be with his wife, and suddenly she's on the injured list. And
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like, oh,
Do it.
he hasn't actually left yet, has he? Though?
I'm sure they're
I think he
crying.
has. Yeah, Andrade's
Yeah,
out.
Officially left
Yeah,
now?
that was like what was the pay per view at the end of the year? That was his last
Well, then.
World's End. So
World's
that was
End.
his last match.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
you
realise.
thank you message as well on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
acknowledged
right,
it
yeah,
in the
okay,
press,
cool.
didn't he? In the press conference, he acknowledged it and said, "Yeah, if that's the last match, I want a match to go out or a run to go out on." What sort of
I mean,
stuff.
Andrade was great. They didn't use him anywhere near as much. I do not understand why. There's so many people. As much as I had a lot of issues with AEW when it started. I always gave it a lot of chances. Now it's a lot better than it used to be, like storytelling. But I still don't understand why they don't push some people like Andrade, Keith Lee, Miro. It seems to be all the ex-WWE people too. So
All three of those guys you've mentioned there, KD, have had issues with injuries and illnesses and things like that, to be fair to them. Especially Keith Lee.
Miro?
But also,
yeah, Keith Lee, to be fair, you're right about that.
Miro was out for a little while, wasn't he? He wasn't able to
Hmm.
perform. That's why it wasn't there.
but also
that was,
Keith Lee.
I don't know. I had a little bit of a. I mean, are you telling me that the Andrade Matt Hardy coalition was not a big good angle for you?
I hated that whole Matt Hardy family group
Yeah.
therapy storyline thing. That was awful. And then,
It looks like it's still going on.
well, no, because there was a thing a day or two ago that Jeff Hardy was like put out a tweet or something saying that they were stuck in the alternate dimension of Rampage, which is like, and again, where is Daniel Bryan handing out these fines?
Yeah, true.
But
Oh, it's crazy, man.
yeah, crazy old times.
I mean, he's right. He's right, though. They have been stuck on Rampage and stuff. But I mean, it's kind of. I mean, Jeff should, in the nicest way, Jeff should be happy he's got a job still right now. Just calm down and be quiet right now. Just do what you're doing.
It sounds like I think look. We know that he'll take measures to get himself fired. It sounds like he's just doing it again.
Oh yeah.
But who knows? Guys, what else has caught your attention, like within the last week?
TNA's back this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, when is it actually back? Is it?
It's down to, is it when is it? The 13th, I think.
Is that
Yeah,
with the
tomorrow.
pay-per-view?
Tomorrow.
Is that the pay-per-view? Yeah.
Is that hard to kill?
Yeah. Which if you subscribe to their new app, TNA Plus app, you can get the pay-per-view for a lovely assembly price of £39.99.
Jeez.
Okay, so I'm going to look this up.
Wow.
Was that included like a year subscription?
That's on their official app. You only get it for one thing, which obviously pay-per-view. I get it. Like back in the day, pay-per-view was pay-per-view, and that's the reason for that you had to watch it at the time, and all that sort of stuff. But if you get the pay-per-view if you get Hard to Kill on Triller, which was Fight TV, it's $19.99. It's like half price. So it's like I don't really get where they're coming from.
And it's only one viewing, isn't it, on that one as well?
Exactly, and on Triller you can replay it whenever you want.
Yeah.
And they haven't got like a catalogue like the network or anything.
Oh no, they have. It's all gone up there. So basically, they've taken everything that was on Impact Plus and put it onto this new one.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's a sneaky one out there for anyone who wants to watch some like free TNA or previous Impact events. There is like, if you just type in TNA Twitch specials, it'll take you to the Impact Wrestling page, and all their Twitch specials are on there for free.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so look, I'm going to bring up here. This is the TNA Plus recurring subscriptions, and monthly attraction special, $9.99 a month, full content library, digital first content, whatever that means, and then exclusive live special. Is that not the pay-per-view then? Oh my god, Hard to Kill. Wait.
Oh jeez.
So
you don't get that as a live special?
You get that if you get the yearly $219.99. Which includes the pay-per-view special.
How many pay-per-views do they do a year at the moment?
I think there's 4, I think.
Oof.
So Hard to Kill, Glory, Slammiversary, and...
I was going to say, that's a bit hard to swallow.
Yeah. Do they still do Lockdown?
I don't know.
Like, honestly, like, TNA has been the thing which over the last year, or 2 years, it's like, I don't even know how like, in the UK, I don't know how to watch it. So...
Yeah.
On a random Sky Channel late on Fridays or something.
Okay, well then I'll try to catch it that way.
Well, not Sky Channel, no. It's on something like one of those streaming ones, like Pluto TV or something like that. I can't remember. But hopefully it's going to get a new deal over here when it's back to being TNA. They might go, oh, we remember that from Challenge.
But you know,
yeah. It's
like so many
AEW is still terrible over here to watch as well live. Like, it's still terrible.
You can't unless you're watching it on Fight.
You can't, yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's on ITV. It's on ITV, like at random times on a Friday.
3 or 4 days later.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days later or
Yeah.
something, you know. Every wrestling fan already knows what happened by then.
And I've said this before, like the big tip I'll give, because when I ordered the pay-per-view before last, the AEW pay-per-view before last, something went wrong and it cancelled my annual subscription to AEW Plus, which they don't offer anymore. And I had to fight for about 15 days to get a refund. And it turned out that there'd been some automatic refund, but then they said, well, so you've got a refund, but you'll now just have to subscribe. I was like, but it costs more each month. So for a month, I didn't subscribe, and I was like, screw these guys. But then when they had the last pay-per-view, you got like a discount if you were on the monthly thing. And I was like, this is how they get me back. But the tip is, do not subscribe through like your phone. If you do it through Apple, then they say you have to go back to Apple if there's a problem. And I'm like, but I've ordered it from you through your app.
Yeah.
But
also, don't order it through the app, because if you order it through the website, it's in dollars, so it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
But yeah.
VPN things they say to use, like, I don't know if it's the same for this, but I know, like, with the Logan Paul fight, for example, the boxing thing, you could do VPN, and if you set it to Sweden, you could get the fight. It was supposed to be like 40. You could get the fight for like, it worked out to like £5 or something.
Oh, wow.
That's illegal.
I have seen the last 2 Logan Paul fights, but I watched them on TikTok, where someone was just live streaming it. And one of them, yeah, it was on TikTok. One of them was a guy like this, and it was just reflected in his sunglasses the whole fight. It was amazing.
And was doing a Donovan Dijak thing of like just looking at seeing his opponent and go,
yeah. It was like that LA Knight thing, you know, that meme, you know, with but the whole thing, it was just him giving his commentary. And he was like, and honestly, I felt sad for this guy because he's like, oh, this is amazing. This is the best day of my life, guys. Thanks so much. And they didn't care about him. They were just watching the pay-per-view that was being streamed on his glasses. But, you know.
Oh, he had to know that deep down.
Yeah, maybe.
He knew that.
But, yeah. Okay, so... No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, Logan Paul is just one of those people, like, over, like, the last year or something, just kind of done amazing things in wrestling. Just kind of, like, you know, there's been a lot of people over the last year that have really stepped their game up, and it's shocking that Logan Paul is one of them. It's weird saying that right now, but he is.
Yeah. Well, look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's because of Roman Reigns. Now, like, Logan Paul is ridiculously good considering he's got no experience, but everyone that goes up against Roman over the last 2 years, everyone's been thinking, this is going to be the person to do it. And when they fail, all of the fans still hold on to the hope that one day they'll come back and finish their story, which has become a thing. Whereas traditionally, over like the last 20 years, it'd be someone's champion, then a challenger comes up, you know the first or second challenger isn't going to win it, so when they don't, you kind of dismiss them and they go to the back of the queue. But because Roman's held it for so long, I think just he is making stars. Everyone he touches, you know, becomes this possible next world champion main eventer guy.
Yeah.
You know, so...
And because there's so few and far between as well, so I suppose that's even more, makes it even more a point to what you're saying.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think, because Dave, I think we were speaking about this last week. Like, what's in bed? Right, no, last week, right? What's the deal with Roman? Why is he wrestling less and less matches? Like, does he just not want to do it anymore? Is he about to go off and do movies? Like, what is he doing with his time?
I mean, if you're talking like in actual real life, I guess it's just the fact that he is trying to wind down and get into movies and things like that.
But is he? What movies is he in? If this was like,
well, I'm not in movies now, obviously. He's went into to.
What is he just like really shit at auditioning? It's like, you know, he turns up once every 3 months.
Hey, not everyone's good at auditioning, all right, David. Yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's
Is he still supposed to be doing that? Is he still supposed to be doing the acting stuff then? Is that apparently what he's doing still?
Not that I know of. He was like when he was.
No, I mean, well, I assume too. Like, but
he was in that Fast and the Furious spin-off where he had like one line of dialogue, and then since then, well, maybe he might have had one. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, as far as I know, he hasn't been in films. If it was that he turned up every 3 months and wrestled, but then in between, it's like, oh, he's on set filming or something. But I just don't. Don't literally get what he's doing with his time. So
maybe it's Jason Momoa's stunt double. Sorry. So maybe it's Jason Momoa's stunt double.
Well, yeah. Guys, I saw Aquaman 2 the other day.
It's nothing to do with his leukemia, is it?
Not.
No, people said that it's not.
I don't know. Like, not that they've ever said.
He's healthy at the moment, or any like he's look at him, he's a beast of a man. Like,
oh yeah. But I was just there thinking, is it like just to preserve time, preserve himself, his body, why he's like cut down his schedule and
through the pandemic,
spend more time with the family? Maybe.
I think it's just that if they're offering him all the money and he's like, you know, he's a huge deal still when he is there. So why would he not, you know, just take the money and get to be there with his family, you know, be around his kids and that.
As well. It actually creates some more of a bigger spot for him as well. Like him being away. No. Not that
he's an attraction now.
We need to get in sync here, guys. We need to get in sync on the. I'm hearing both voices at the same time.
That's my bad.
It's all good. Yeah. So, okay. Like, I think the breakout star of 2024 so far is definitely R-Truth, though. What about you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that video was very funny on Raw.
That was brilliant.
I just love this story that someone is like deciding that they're in a faction, and clearly they're not. But then, like, obviously, mostly, I guess, Damian Priest is just like, well, let's just see what happens with this. And obviously, the element was that he doesn't like JD anyway, and so then this guy is just deciding that JD is out.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Isn't that just Bailey then as well?
Yeah, well, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I'm not going to lie, it was also Sami Zayn in the Bloodline a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
You know, this
That
like
was the vibes I was getting.
yeah.
Well, they're doing this thing of instead of that, they're reuniting Awesome Truth now, aren't they? And this tag on Monday is going to be quite fun. But I don't know. Is this a way of getting Damian Priest out of Judgment Day as well? Though I don't know. If he's starting to sort of see the light side of it and like is quite liking Truth, and everyone else is like
They're facing him next week, aren't they? So it's supposed to be like them putting an end to it next week, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know. Maybe Priest turns, because I assumed from the end of previous week with Drew getting sort of screwed over in the match because of Priest's attempted cash in that they would do a few between them two, and it seems that Drew's still carrying on with this very nuanced character, which I never thought I'd be saying about any wrestler really. But that's the first time I've really like watched this character do a promo with this new character. And I've got to say, I thought Drew was really good on that opening bit on Monday. It was and the whole sort of idea of this guy that really does believe, and it's a thing that heels should have anyway, is that their way is the way that they should be, the things should be. But it's the whole idea of him being this character that feels he's been screwed over and hasn't had justice go his way and all this sort of stuff, and now he's going about it in the wrong way to everyone else's eyes, and things like that, and him sort of being, I don't know why are you holding me up as some sort of arsehole or whatever. I'm not an arsehole, they're the arsehole, so that's that sort of attitude. It's surprisingly nuanced, as I say.
The storytelling has got a lot more nuance. I think it's just amazing, isn't it? As I'm assuming everyone here has watched like WWE for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Since like Vince McMahon's gone, Triple H took over like creative. It's just a similar. Just our bar was set to, if we have storylines that continue each week, we'd be happy. And now we've actually got storylines that have nuance, like you said, and people that have nuance to go up and down. Especially bad guys, like you were saying, when you can understand their point as well, it gives them like another layer, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you know what? Even the production's changed since Kevin Dunn's gone. So like,
has it?
Monday's Raw, was it?
It was.
Yeah, with Ciampa.
It's easier to watch.
Yeah.
It's easier to watch. There's not so many cuts, and they're doing these. What did you do from Ciampa? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, with Ciampa, there's been like the promo before he's coming out. And
yeah, they're walking to Gorilla, doing the promo on their way to Gorilla position and going through that entrance. I mean,
that was really good.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
There were a few mistakes, I don't know if you noticed it though. There were a few cuts when they went to something and they were just filming the ceiling for no reason. There was 2 or 3
there was,
at the most.
It's not quite like AEW missing the reveal of the Devil's Henchman. Cutting away as they start to put the hoods up. So, God damn it!
I was going to say, but I better not say this. I'm not sure if I should or not. AEW cameramen. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Why are they dressed head to toe in black lycra suits?
Because they're trying to get away from filming Sky Blue. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, to be fair, they do have a fascination with that, don't they?
Oh, yes.
And I understand it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it, more than okay with it.
I'm fine with it, but you know.
I'm behind that force.
Hey, there you go. Right.
I'm just going to mute myself, sorry.
Don't get into trouble. Yeah, no, she's very talented. Now, let's talk about like what we do have coming up. So, obviously, there is the return of TNA. They have their. Let's see if I can get Hard to Kills, like the match lineup or whatever, and we can make some predictions or something. Oh no, you click on it. See, this is the problem with the TNA website. I just clicked on where it says Hard to Kill, and it's come up with a ticket thing, rather than actually just telling me the matches.
They got the TV taping on the day after as well, which has got like Okada and various other people that are doing the New Japan show as well. There's a New Japan Strong show this weekend as well. Battle Valley. This is why Okada's over here and is able to do the TNA taping, so I don't know if that's going to lead to anything on that side of things. There's rumours of like a big signing that's being announced tomorrow as well.
What for? Oh yes, what is this? This huge signing for TNA? Like Dixie Carter isn't there anymore, so it can't just be like Mr. Kennedy. It has to. If they're saying that, it has to be someone significant. But I can't think who significant is even available.
Hogan wants a last match.
Hulk Hogan's last match.
No. Hogan and Flair.
Yeah.
What about Goldberg?
Goldberg in TNA. Oh God. Like I honestly feel like that would be
having a spear off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is Dolph actually signed to New Japan?
That's what he's. But it could be him as well. Could be him.
I don't know. I was wondering if it was going to be somebody like ex-WWE, because there's been quite a few people who have gone lately, ain't there? So there's still going to be some people.
Of course it will be.
Who has gone from WWE that's TNA? Top dollar.
Top dollar. Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, did you see this thing? Okay, so there was a theory about this. So apparently him and this musician guy are going to debut their new music video at TNA Hard to Kill. TNA haven't said anything about this. They haven't said anything about it. So there's a theory going around that they're saying they're going to debut it, but they're going to be like debuting it outside in the queue. They'll be like doing a live stream or something like that. And they're like, here's the video. And we are here at the thing. TNA haven't actually mentioned or announced this at all.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Because I heard it talked about as if it was like a definite. So that's surprising.
It's, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you'll find that all of that is coming from Dollar, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I could believe it.
Wow. He's this generation's Enzo Amore. Right, so.
God, that makes me feel old.
Oh, could it be Enzo? Has Enzo ever been in TNA?
No, I think so.
Wow.
Does he even wrestle anymore?
I don't think so. I think he turns up somewhere. Yeah.
I don't know if he's there now.
Okay, so.
There's got to be people we're forgetting.
Go ahead.
I was saying, I feel like there's got to be people we were forgetting that left WWE that could turn up in TNA. That would be quite good, because there's a lot of people, you know, we know WWE waste because they have so many good people. There's a lot of good wrestlers nowadays when given the chance.
Mustafa Ali, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good fit for TNA.
So he's doing his little independent sort of tour at the moment. He's got a lot of shows, so he might be. Obviously,
He looks like he's doing pretty well as well.
Yeah, he's
Hench as well now.
He's going to be over here for a few dates for Pro in Progress, so he'll be around.
That could be a good show right there.
Okay, so
I'd consider that.
Okay, I've got the match listings for Hard to Kill. We could go over all of them, but there's like 10 matches, so I don't know if I can be bothered. But like, so main event: Moose and Alex Shelley World Championship. I think Shelley's keeping. How about any of you?
I hope Shelley's keeping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was the whole thing.
Even to Goldberg versus Moose. That's what my prediction is.
Okay, yeah, that could be a thing. But like last time, it was a TNA championship. It was Moose that had it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember that today after watching the interview thing with him and Shelley. I completely forgot he'd done that.
Yeah.
Thing where the champion wasn't around because it was that whole thing with Tessa Blanchard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She wasn't around and.
She was the world champion, and it was COVID, and so she didn't turn up. And then they just brought back the TNA belt, and until Christian won it, and then Kenny Omega held it, and Michael Nakazawa then was wearing it on Dynamite. A crazy time. What happened between TNA and AEW so they don't really do anything together anymore? What went wrong there?
You went wrong. I think it was just the end of their contract together, I guess.
Ran its course.
I'm just surprised that they wouldn't do more crossover. Like, I would have thought that would have always been the... Well, I guess the always forbidden door is with New Japan. But, yeah, I don't know.
I think Ring of Honor became their Impact as well. You know, what they needed from Impact, they got from Ring of Honor.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay, Jordan Grace and Trinity. Now, it looks like Grace is going to win, because if the rumours are to be believed, we may have a new member in the Bloodline.
Oh, really? In the bloodline? Is she
Nah,
gonna go
they're
there?
not. I haven't heard that rumor at all. But it's been the
No.
rumor a year ago, and then it obviously didn't come to anything.
Right. Okay.
No, the speculation is now that she is leaving TNA
Yeah.
and might be joining us as soon as the Rumble.
Yeah.
Be surprised when
You had
it's the
to. I think we all kind of imagined she would eventually, didn't we? Though, I'm shocked it took this long, to be honest.
But at least she's got her independent side of her,
Yeah.
like from WWE now, and they can see that she can actually make a name of herself even somewhere else. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
not that.
I mean, we all know that anyway. She's awesome to her, and that entrance
Yeah.
is like that entrance alone, is badass. I hate the music, but I love the entrance.
And the
to your
crowd will
point-
go wild for it, though, in the Rumble.
Yeah, yeah. And to your point as well, David, like, would you like to see like a woman in the bloodline?
I think it adds a dynamic. Well, just look at Rhea Ripley in
Yeah.
in Judgment Day. Not that they're going to suddenly do Bloodline versus Judgment Day again, but it would certainly create a matchup there of sorts.
difficult though. 'Cause I think she's got too much of a likability factor about her. She's been here before.
Yeah.
Didn't really.
But
Yeah.
look at Rhea. She's a face within Judgment Day, even though she doesn't
True,
play a
like-
face.
Yeah, like Solo is a badass as well, and I really like Solo, but he's still a the dick in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, not a bad shout.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so next up we've got Hail Sabin versus El Hijo del Vikingo and Kushida for the X Division Championship.
That'd be a pretty much of a banger.
Yeah. Who we going for on that one?
Could be either Kushida or Sabin. I don't think.
You don't think Vikingo's
I
taking
think
it?
Vikingo I think she's just there for
A
the
cameo.
Yeah. But it's nice to see that the TNA are actually using him better than AEW seem to be using him. He's like the AAA mega champion. He's like this huge name in Mexico, quite a special attraction. And they keep throwing him into random trios and four-way matches. It's just
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
weird.
that's all I've seen of him, so that's kind of all it is in my head now. I'm like, I don't really care about seeing Vikingo again.
Well, that was like the thing about Vikingo is when he first came in, I was like, how is this a dream match with him and Omega? They gave it zero build. And it was like, yeah, he's, high flying, he can do 950s, 10,080 spins and stuff like this.
Yeah.
But then, just like so many people, like AEW has got their biggest problem is a bloated roster means that you see people too infrequently for them to build people up. And that should have been their biggest strength in that, hey, we're not on the road for 300 days a year and we'll just bring people up here and there and stuff like that. But just getting the balance right is something that's gone worse over time rather than better.
Yeah.
And especially when you got a lot of people doing the same style too, because you kind of feel like you're seeing the same thing still each time. I know that's, it's not quite the case, because they each have a lot of unique stuff that they all do separately. But it feels, a lot of the stuff feels the same still.
Yeah. That's the big change of the business, though, I guess, is that, 20 years ago, AJ Styles was phenomenal because there was him, Jeff Hardy, and Rob Van Dam, and then obviously luchadors or whatever doing high-flying stuff, but that was it. But now 3/4 of everyone does everything. So then
Every
when
match has a suicide dive.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Every match has a suicide dive. Yeah.
A tope what?
17.
Yeah, right, okay.
Suicide.
But yeah, so now when you get Randy Orton turn up and he just does his 7 moves, it's refreshing.
It's because the psychology, isn't it? Though a lot of people in AEW, I think, is a big issue that the psychology isn't there as much, which is why though I am so looking forward to Will Ospreay, starting in AEW properly, because I think he's going to be like a wrestler of the year kind of person by the end of this year. Because we never get to see much of him, do we? He was always in indie, so it's quite hard to see a lot of him if you're not really.
Is he?
Depends on what you watch, though, isn't it? Because if you're a regular watcher of New Japan and things like that, and you do see it quite often, he's on these he's usually the wrestler of the year. He's usually top 3 at least every year on a lot of podcasts and websites and things like that.
Is he going to main event?
I saw him a lot over the years and things like that, growing up and developing and things like that. So it depends completely on the outlook. It might be a change this year because obviously it'd be the first time.
There's more people, isn't it?
But think about the pop he got at Wembley, and the fact that wasn't a signed AEW wrestler, but majority of the people knew him and were cheering him and all that sort of stuff. At Wembley, 8,000 people were cheering for him.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is he going to be main eventing All In this year? Has to.
Oh God, yes.
Has to.
Yeah.
Who's he wrestling at Wembley?
Omega. Oh, then that's depending.
Oh, it could be Omega. He's already wrestled Omega last year, I guess.
I'm going to hazard a guess that it might be Swerve.
Ooh.
Really?
I think Swerve's winning the title.
Do you think Swerve's getting the title next? Double or nothing?
He'll get the title next, and I think he'll hold it to Wembley, and him and Ospreay have a bit of a history that they can go on as well. Yeah. They did tag team, they did opponents and lots of stuff.
Is Swerve a face now?
Well, again, he's got the Ripley reaction.
Prince Nana is, so it's just only a matter of time.
That's the one thing I do really like in AEW. Like, not the one thing, there's plenty I do. But like the whole, do I know he was a face in wrestling? I don't really know. You can have a heel going against a technical heel because Rhea's a technical heel. But we want to see her and Nia Jax. That would be great. It's
because it's our own fault. Like it's wrestling fans' faults because we know it, and it's more than just wrestling. It's like everything. Obviously, I'm about to do Geek Battle and stuff, but it's the same thing. Like people watch movies and they're like, yeah, General Zod, yeah, Lex Luthor, and like we just love these characters. And so when people are impressive in the ring, but like when people are impressive in the ring, or when it's especially like nostalgic heels, like coming out and doing their same shtick that they do as a heel, but now we're like, yeah, it's this person. It's just like we kind of we're just enjoying all of it, and so it makes it so much harder to be a heel.
Or it's the pop of anticipation, isn't it? Whenever Christian Cage's music hits, you can hear that sort of bubble and go, oh, what's he going to say now? Here we go.
Yeah.
You see? I think they try to say it's a bad thing, a lot of the old school wrestling people, like the heels are going for the reactions and that, But it's just entertaining though, isn't it? If you're entertaining enough as a heel, you will get those reactions. If anything, it means you're doing your job even better.
Yeah.
I suppose that's how the reacts to them, I suppose, isn't it? So there's both ways you can say that, no, if an audience is cheering for a heel, the heel should be like, yeah, damn right, you cheer for me. I'm brilliant. Yeah. Or I'm right. Yeah. Or on the other hand, it could be like, oh, you're going to cheer for me? Screw you guys. And whatever it is.
Yeah.
It can be either way, I think, it's the reactions and the audience.
I think one way people, like, they all need to get smarter. Like, they need to understand what the audience and what the internet wrestling crowd and all this kind of thing, like, engage with. So if there is stuff like what has just happened with Jinder and Hook and Tony Khan or whatever, or, well, this is a bigger example. Jericho got a heel reaction. Now, I'm not saying that you spread rumours that aren't true and ruin someone's life just to get them over as a heel. But, like, the Young Bucks and CM Punk, depending which side of the fence you fell on, would get, booed out of the building at times.
Yeah.
So there are ways to get into the psychology of making you unlikable to a crowd. But, they have to... It's fourth-dimensional chess or whatever they say. They have to really overthink things. You can't just turn up and be like, so, Arsenal, they suck, boo, and stuff like this. It's not going to work anymore.
Yeah. And I suppose you've got to be smart enough as well to then, especially in a match, read the room and kind of figure out, okay, maybe I should play this as a heel, like a Rock and Hogan, perfect example, Mania, reading the room and reacting to it. It's hard to do, not everyone can do it though, it's hard to do. In the nicest way, I don't know how many of the people, in WWE too, but I don't know how many people in AEW could do that. I don't know.
I think there are some that can, and there are
definitely some.
Yeah,
a lot that can probably.
Well,
there's one of them who can do it. They've got the experience of being on the independents and doing that sort of very same thing, reacting to the room. A lot of them obviously are much younger, so the younger ones not so much, but I think the more established.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you look at Eddie Kingston, he wouldn't have an issue. He does that all the time. That's
I
exactly
think
like
Eddie
kids
just
all
thinks
about
it's
that.
real anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's one of that's what's always worked about Eddie Kingston is because he treats well. Does he think everything's real, or does he make us believe he thinks everything's real?
That's it.
And that's what's good about Eddie Kingston is that he's someone there who 99% of the time I believe what he comes out with. You know, the only time I didn't is when he tried to stop John Moxley from getting blown up.
I love that though, because that whole palaver and that whole thing. Fun fact, as a little fact that I suddenly realised, I was thinking back to that. The week that happened, that was the first Slam Jam show of this variety. Remember all the way back?
Wow, that's awesome.
Only because I remember because I made a joke about that thing that happened with the explosion. I remember when the impact after that and all happened and everything like that, and they had to like sell the fact that Eddie was selling the fact that he was knocked out and unconscious and all this sort of stuff, things like that. And they did this promo where he's basically saying, "Look, this is the reason it happened. I just had all this well of motion in me and all that sort of stuff. A lot of bad things that have happened in my life, so I came back.
I'm man enough to
I
admit
passed
it.
out because of the stuff, and that's what happened. If you think I'll win, fine, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
It was brilliant cover up. I loved it.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that he was still trying to explain it away. He did a good job of it, you know.
I would have just swept it under the rug. I'd have been like, this was bad.
You can't these days, can you?
Yeah.
You've got to acknowledge this stuff.
No, just play Jericho's music as loud as you can. You'll get through it.
Like comedy 101 doing, man.
No, it is such a shame. It's such a shame. Like, even it was oh god, it was a year ago now. But like, when we had Bray Wyatt's last match with LA Knight, and there was the Uncle Howdy moment where they sort of dove and like into a crash mat and stuff like this. It's like you can't do stuff like that because there are cameras everywhere in everyone's hands. So it is super hard to pull the ball over anything.
Especially as it didn't even look good on WWE's cameras anyway. That's why you could see the crash mat on their cameras.
Yeah. Do you know what I was thinking about? Well, something that brings to my mind, like even WWE's cameras or AEW's cameras, there are ways where they could fix things. Like, and the best example I can think of is the reveal of like Kane taking his mask off. Right. I don't know if that was an anniversary or something, but I saw it the other day come up on Twitter. And it had the thing where he's got to take his mask off. And Rob Van Dam, I guess they were a tag team at the time or something, is in the ring. And then like Kane's like, no, I got to do it. And he takes the mask off and it's just like some like ink on his face. And then he just like attacks Rob Van Dam and goes, like this. The way they should have done it is they should have had it so that he's got to do it. I can't do it. And he storms out. And then, literally, on the next Raw, or whatever the next show is, they should have had Kane backstage, and they literally should have had him being, like, grabbed by people and forced down to the ring so that he hasn't just wrestled a match. And then they could have had, like, Star Trek prosthetics and all this shit on his face so he looked burned. And then, it's like, the problem is, just like, was it Gillian Hall that had the growth on her face, right? Yeah. Now, obviously, that was able to stay there a while. But if they're like, well, he's going to sweat this stuff off, they should have just had it where he then changed his mask or something. So he had a new mask or something that would like hide the scars and have patches of his face through or something.
I think that was the point that they wanted to get rid of the mask completely, didn't they? And, Kane wanted to, so rather than they, like, freshen it up. But, if I remember correctly, on that mask there was something about if he lost, then he was literally, if he didn't unmask, he'd be fired or something.
Yeah, well, just say he's fired and then have him come back, you know. Yeah. Just
true, it's Kane,
Yeah.
Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, it's Isaac Yankem. Would have Lawler been on commentary at the time? Imagine if he's just like, what?
I loved it if he'd gone, Isaac?
Isaac Yankem.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Okay, guys, we've got just like a few minutes before we'll have to wrap this up. But let me check to see if there's any breaking news, because there usually is as soon as we finish. But is there anything that you guys, any hot takes that we haven't shared yet?
The Rumble. When is that?
When is the Rumble?
That's good.
It's last weekend. Last month.
Right, okay.
Royal Rumble 2024.
I'll give you a hot take. I'll give you a hot take. A prediction I made on my last thing. I think Roman Reigns will hold on to the title for the entirety of 2024. Sorry, but he just will.
Beat Hogan's record, do you think?
Yeah.
If he holds on
That's a
to
new
it
thing.
into 2025, then I think he needs to beat the entire record thing. But for me, and I think I probably said this last week, Roman should beat The Rock at Mania. He should then wrestle Punk throughout the summer so that they can do the Bloodline. And look, I don't think people even care that much about CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. They just want CM Punk versus Paul Heyman's new guy.
Yeah.
And then you can put him against Cody at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and have Cody finish his story then, and then Roman can go and be Jason Momoa's twin in the sequel to Twins. Imagine that, a remake of Twins. So there you go.
Oh, God.
Problem solved.
I just heard a story the other day about how Danny DeVito on the set of Twins spiked Arnold Schwarzenegger by giving him a cigar that was loaded with bud all down it, and he didn't realise, and he was just forgot all his lines afterwards.
What, you mean Arnold Schwarzenegger just stood there like, yeah, yeah, yeah? They're like, that's great, Arnold, great, good, got it in one.
He just like kept turning like, "Can somebody help me? I need a line."
Yeah.
So, news thing saying Sean Waltman, ex-Pac, is saying that he's not going to be a Survivor's entrant in the Rumble. He's not ready to go or anything like that. So that pretty much guarantees he's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so yeah, okay, out of the
Yeah.
blue.
He's been on the rumour list for a little while, but
Yeah.
I was going to say, AJ Lee is supposed to be as well, isn't it? AJ? AJ Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Do you know, I'm so in two minds about that. I don't know if it takes away from Punk at the moment, because how can she be in the Royal Rumble, and or if she wins and then Punk doesn't, or if she wins and Punk wins, it's just like, you know.
She's not going to win it though, is she?
Yeah, she ain't gonna win. Exactly.
I would save that a little while. I'd save that until the summer. I'd save AJ coming back until the summer. It doesn't need to be in the Rumble. Okay.
At the same time, they might want to bring him back before Punk has a chance to, like, cause any arguments. Do it now out the way, and while they can.
Yeah.
One thing that sprang to mind actually is we were talking about Ripley and her being a face, getting her face reactions while still being heel and everything like that. It actually occurs to me they're doing this thing with Nia Jax, and I don't think Nia is going to win the Rumble, but I do think she'll challenge Ripley at Elimination Chamber, because that's in Australia.
True, actually. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ripley will be the big face for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's any like breaking headlines. The most interesting one is Booker T says Velveteen Dream would have a hard time returning to wrestling. Well,
Good.
if you want those heel reactions, guys, this is what I was saying. You know, there's a few different murders or other allegations you can get yourself involved in.
You want heel reactions, not reactions of indifference.
Yeah.
Also, that's one of the funniest clips though, and people were like raving about it, what a great return it was at the time. But when he came back from injury and like attacked the Undisputed Era, he like appeared on the top rope suddenly. He was like, "Oh, I'm here, guys," and goes to dive off on them. He gave the shittiest, crappiest like attacks on them so bad. I felt so sorry for all four of them having to feed and sell for this prick. It was like you can imagine it looked awful. I was like, what are you doing?
I had so
Yeah,
much
can't
high
argue
hopes
any
for
of
it
that.
as well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
he
he
won
won
me
me around
round
for a little while. No, I wasn't sure him at first. He won me round, then after that, I was like, no, he's not going to.
Yeah. It was weird, wasn't it? Like, it's a weird thing to hear some of the stuff. It's like, we can go without that.
Okay, so right, it is a couple of weeks before the Royal Rumble, but who are our picks for winning it?
Becky to win
Men
the
or
women.
women?
I really hope Becky doesn't.
No, I think she will. I think
Okay.
her
I
and
agree.
Rhea is the match to go with.
What you saying, Rhea and Becky at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Do I
They haven't done
remember
it
seeing
yet.
that?
Okay, or how about this? Sasha Banks. It's happening. All this teasing that she's going to AEW, and then like a week ago, or this week, it was a big thing. Is she going to be there? And she wasn't. What are they saving it for? They're not saving it. Triple H is
I have a
saving it.
feeling Trini's going to go back as well, so Sasha's going to go back. I think, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Could do. They could eventually go for the tag titles again and try and do what they were trying to do before.
Oh, yeah, they really
Now,
got
look,
it.
if Sasha's come, well, say Naomi, like this is the interesting thing. Imagine if they came back and it was Trinity and Mercedes Moné. Everyone would be like, "Who are these people?" And then in the men's rumble, there's Matt Cardona. Everyone's like, "What? Who are these cheap knockoff renegade versions of the wrestlers we recognise?" But like, yeah,
They
no,
never do that though.
I don't think you could get a bigger WrestleMania Women's World Championship match than having Sasha Banks in it this year, if they can make that happen. You know.
Do you know what I really want to see?
Tell me.
Still, Bianca and Rhea.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just feel like Rhea is at the very top she's been, and I feel like they've not like dropped the ball on Bianca, but they're trying other things. So
Yeah.
she doesn't feel like she's been in the mix anywhere near as much as she was a year and a half ago.
I think she needs to be away from the title, Bianca anyway. For a bit, build more character.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of boring at the moment, man.
Yeah, I still like her. Don't get me wrong, but I think she needs that character development.
Kind of
Yeah.
heel.
Okay, what about the men's rumble, guys? Are we picking Cody? Are we picking Punk? Or are
I
we
think Punk.
picking someone else?
I think Punk wins the Rumble, Cody wins Elimination Chamber to face Reigns.
I'm on that.
My hot take here:
Yeah, I'd agree, you know.
Punk is meant to win the Rumble. He's going to do a botch and get himself eliminated. That is my bold prediction. So
They'd
many
have to do a
years,
botch.
so
Well,
many
like a
years, I felt nervous that people are going to get eliminated. Was it the women's Rumble last year where there was just a really long period where they were just on the apron? Was it last year?
Yeah. That was with Liv and Rhea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it Asuka? Asuka, Liv and Rhea. Yeah.
So, something like this, where it's just, I was like, whoever, this is like playing with fire, which I always feel like something is going to go wrong at some point. But yeah, I think Punk is going to, he's not been in the ring that much. He's going to have a thing, he's going to go over the top, he's going to lose his grip, he's going to get himself eliminated.
Like a shoot.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A butt shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine if the final four in the Rumble are Punk, a Cody, are, say, Jey Uso and LA Knight. Or the final
I
four.
think I won't be there because he's in the title match. They rarely do.
Oh,
that.
yeah, you're right. Oh, okay, I don't know who a good, or who is a good fourth? Who? Gunter. Yeah, do you know what?
Oh,
Okay, imagine if he just wins
Yeah.
the Rumble, shocks everyone.
Well, here's the thing. What if we are to believe the utter bullshit that comes out of Matt Riddle's mouth, maybe Brock Lesnar can go into business for himself and win the Rumble again, like he did a few years ago. Apparently.
Yeah.
oh,
I've been enjoying the Matt Riddle
Oh, yeah.
memes this week.
You read that Riddle's interview recently claims that Lesnar he'd done a match with Bobby and then came backstage and said, right, I'm winning the Rumble, and just sort of forced his way into being in the Rumble match.
Yeah. And just
Just
did it.
eliminated everyone. It's like, come on,
The
including
match I do
himself.
want-
Oh, actually, could Riddle be the TNA guy?
Oh god, no.
Oh, didn't Riddle just turn up
God.
somewhere? Is he?
He's
Yeah.
just gone
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
he could be at the
Japan,
TNA
but-
signing.
He's in
Yeah.
MLW as well. He's just
Yeah.
up there as well. So
MLW.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Impact, the TNA's got a good reputation of having like decent people in there at the moment. So
What
I
if we
At the
have
same time, he's a great
Gunther.
wrestler.
Gunther versus Roman?
That's just human
Title
being
for title.
See, that's not
Sorry,
bad.
Xavier.
What a complete left field main event that would be for Mania. You know.
Awesome.
I wouldn't be against it. It would be like, why didn't they do all of these other possibilities? But at the same time, that'd be a great match.
Yeah.
One of the best problems of having it, isn't it? There's so many good people right now in WWE that it's hard trying to figure out when all of them are going to get their opportunity. Great problem.
Oh, also, I just realised the TNA guy. Look, guys, we haven't even spoke about this possibility, but according to the AEW roster page, MJF is no longer an AEW talent. So TNA, here comes MJF.
He's injured.
I'll be honest, guys. I didn't actually hear what the match you were talking about a moment ago because I was too busy shitting on Matt Riddle. What was it?
Oh, Gav said, was it? I think Gav, you said about Gunther winning the Rumble to go against Roman. That would be so left field. Yeah, that'd be so left field. I wouldn't be against it though. Like most normal years, like I'd be like, yeah, that's a amazing possibility. I'd be all over Gunther winning as well.
You have a rumour about Gunther having a Mania match with Lesnar. I'm totally down for that. Only if Gunther will win though.
Yeah, he'd win.
You'd think.
He'd have to. Like, because it couldn't be not for the title.
Yeah.
True, yeah, I forgot about that actually.
Yeah. And in one sense, they'd be like, oh, Brock has never held this title. And Brock definitely would be like, I don't want that title.
yeah.
Which is such a shame. There's... Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say do with Mojo, that's all I was saying, but carry on.
Now, like, I remember, like, a few years ago, it's different now, but to me, if someone's won the world title, I'd never like the idea of them going for the Intercontinental title afterwards.
No, I was the same.
Yeah, but it happens because there's people like Jeff Hardy and The Miz and Edge. Well, yeah, Edge. Like people like there's a bunch of them. Like Kofi Kingston could go back to that.
Cena just did.
Who was that?
Yeah,
Cena.
Cena was. Did Cena ever win the Intercontinental title?
No, he went to US title. He sort of went from there and then went down to US and back up again, didn't he?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Although, but it kind of made it feel like a more special thing, didn't it?
Sorry.
Where like the US Open Challenge thing.
Oh yeah.
It was almost as special as the Adam Copen Challenge.
I think that was actually good for the title. You know,
yeah, I think it was as well. Yeah. Right, guys, let's begin to wrap things up. Let's find out where we can find everyone on social media, but also I'll have a quick check to see if there's any late breaking news. But I don't think there is. Right, so KD, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at KD _the babyface. You can find me on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from, a KD Comedy Podcast on Squishy Logic, or every week on the Wrestling with Egos podcast, or on Switch Radio every Tuesday 2 to 3 p.m. That's everything.
Awesome stuff. Gav, where can the people find you?
You can find me here next time. I was just there to see. Darby Allin apparently got hurt during that bump.
Oh, yeah, I did see that bump. Was that where they like literally spun him around?
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's a great idea, but I saw it in slow motion and it looked brutal, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But
this one.
Have you seen it, guys?
No, I think so. I watched the match, but I must have missed that. So.
I'll see if I can quickly find it.
Yeah.
Darby Allin.
There was no way to control where he was going or really how he was landing.
Yeah, his neck did kind of like ricochet off his chest.
We should really be protecting him if he's going to be having this, not only this match against the Young Bucks with Sting, but also...
Okay, look, I'll bring it up here. Hopefully it's small enough on the screen. Not to be a problem.
Oh, no.
Oh, but he caught the rope. Yeah, it looked absolutely horrific.
So they were trying to get him across the ring, weren't it?
Yeah.
That's a really weird version of the birthday bumps.
Yeah, it is a weird version of birthday bumps, and that can be deadly. Right, Dave, where can the people find you, or did I already come to you?
You can find me at Degrino on my sort of socials on X. David Anthony Green for acting and comedy stuff. Find me tomorrow night in Southend doing the improv for Bear Cheek Comedy at the Ironworks, and register tickets. You might get a few left. We are all sold out at the moment, but you may be able to get a couple of extras. And also, it's a month away from the Southend 48-hour improvathon, even though I'm not going to be doing very much in it. It's always nice to support it and get along if you can. So just follow at Southend 48 Thon, I think is the correct title. Let me just double check that very, very quickly for you.
Yeah, sure.
Hold on. Southend 48 Thon, is that the correct one? Yes.
Okay, cool. My name is David Postansky. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Postansky, spelled Pustansky. You can also go to the website Xstreamed.tv and the YouTube channels for Extreme Improv, Geek Battle, Slam Jam, and so on and so forth. Smash those subscribe buttons. And until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, keep slamming and jamming, you slam